What's up, y'all? I absolutely love talking about finances, and I'm so happy to do it at any point, including right now. So, in the current geopolitical climate of things, tariffs are a hot topic. This is primarily due to America's tariff war on the surrounding countries, particularly with China. So, what is a tariff? A tariff is a tax imposed on imports from other countries, which makes it so any item ordered from those countries is more expensive. The main point of these tariffs is to protect domestic industries and companies. This is due to the raise in the price due to the taxes. If a customer is able to buy a product cheaper, they will. No one wants to pay more. This will lower the amount of imports and increase the demand for local products. That's good and all, but countries like selling things. If America places a tariff on Chinese goods, China begins losing money, or at least they make less money. This can hurt countries' relations, and it can even cause them to retaliate with tariffs of their own. If China responds with a tariff or by raising a pre-existing one, this will in turn hurt America's industries. This is because the exports are now more expensive, meaning less people are going to buy them. You see? This is exactly what's happening today. Trump placed a minimum 10% tariff on all American exports. And then imposed a reciprocal tariff on countries matching their own tariffs. Most countries responded by dropping their tariffs to negotiate, but China did the opposite. They raised their tariffs. As of April 10th, America's total tariffs placed on China equaled 125%, while China raised all of the American exports to 84%. For reference, if you were to buy a Chinese product that was originally $30, you would pay $55.20. And that's before taxes and shipping. That's horrible. Especially when you think about just how much junk China produces. It might become hard for a consumeristic country like ours to save money. But don't give up yet, because there's always the 50-20-30 rule to help you through your spending needs. Now, these numbers represent the percentages of your income. 50% of it should be spent on living expenses and essentials. 20% of it should go to debt and retirement, while the other 30% left should go to your personal wants. That new turbo you want to put in your car, that'll be a personal want. Yeah. Now, these also give you a good baseline of how much money you should be spending. Because you shouldn't be spending more than 50% of your budget on your daily living expenses. Not daily, I meant monthly. And you shouldn't be spending more than 30% on your personal wants, which includes takeout. Now, on top of this, it's always smart to save up 3 months of money in case of emergencies. Say you get hurt and you're out of a job for a while. You're going to need that money to support yourself. And it'll help you survive. Saving money is very important. So let's move on to credit cards. Credit cards are by far one of the most useful financial tools that you can use. But if you're not careful, they can quickly ruin you. Credit companies flourish on the idea that they are giving away free money, and spoiler warning, they aren't. These cards can help build your credit, which is needed to gain loans to help you reach your life goals. Loans can be used for schooling, housing, and even cars. So how does it work? Credit companies let you borrow money to purchase anything you want. Then after a month, you need to pay back everything you borrowed. You making these payments is what builds your credit. But if you don't pay off your debt every month, the company will charge you interest. And this is how they make money and ruin people's lives. It is easy to spiral into debt, which only increases the time it takes for you to pay it off. When paying the minimum amount, it can take nearly 10 years to pay off an $8,000 debt, and in the long term will make you lose a lot more money than you originally spent. That same $8,000 can end up costing you something like $20,000. But if you pay off your debt every month, everything will be all right. So today we covered tariffs and how they can help and hurt the economy. We've talked about budgeting through the 50-20-30 rule, and finally we talked about credit cards. Where is it? Yeah! Look at that nail. That's all.